I have to imagine that geometric shape can't help but question why it is geometric as opposed to being something else, because there's so many things you can be. Why did you turn out who you were, even if you're a geometric shape? I think we all wonder that. Do you guys wonder that? Why are you like this? I don't know why I'm like this. I wish I was even better, but here I am, doing my best, just like a geometric shape.
Oh, William, I would like you to imagine yourself standing on the top of a hill with a friend. Tell me what happens next.
So the friend is actually a geometric shape. It's an octagon, and we end up going up the hill and singing a song very quietly.
Well, Ziba, do you agree with that answer?
I don't believe we should accept, was it octagons? I'm sorry.
It's a pretty controversial statement.
This panel is about understanding.
I understand what octagons are.
Affirmative.
What are we gonna do with them?
Hey, Will, what do you think geometric shapes imagine on a regular basis?
Probably standing on a hill with a person singing a song quietly.
Thank you. Well, Raymond, tell me about some unexpected benefits of imagination.
Imagination's great. I can't imagine.
Here we go.
No, it's awesome. You just kind of you stare at the wall, and that usually helps. And you think of things that didn't exist before. That's amazing.
It looks like there's another branch in the road. Jonathan, what should we do? If we continue going straight, it looks like it leads into a cave. But if we take this turn, it goes down some sort of hill. What do you choose? Continue in the direction that we're currently going, or head down this hill?
Who here has played the first Legend of Zelda? Woo! You remember there's a cave right at the start. A lot of people who've never played it before, they skip the cave and just get beat up by Octoroks because they never get the sword. I've seen this happen. So I want to go in the cave. I hope the purple sword is in there. Who here wants the
All
purple
right,
sword?
let's see what's in this cave.
Where's the cave?
Oh, it's this exciting purple sword.
Robin, I was recently playing the game Wattam, and I felt an incredible amount of joy as I experienced it. I'm currently trying to optimize myself to be able to contain and share joy more effectively with people that I interact with. Are there any stories that you can share about how you were able to bring so much joy into an experience?
Well, first of all, I think it's because we all have amazing imaginations together on the team. And second of all, because making games is so hard that if you don't put joy into them, it's no fun making them. So you have to actually believe that the game will be fun, even when it isn't, and that's hard. So the reason it's joyful is because it's that joy that makes you go forward.
Why, thank you, Robin. Your response brings me joy.
What?
I like you, and I like those answers. I would like to talk about something new. Let's move on. Well, Robin, what place in the world is filled with the most joy?
My heart.
Well, Jonathan, as you heard that response, what were you thinking about?
I just want to be Robin. Who here wants to be Robin? Who here wants to make room blocks and Journey and Wattam? She's great.
Oh, thank you.
Disappointed him. I didn't.
Lamont, what creatures do you think have the most joy?
First of all, I notice how you don't ask me anything about geometric shapes. And that is a good idea. But as far as
Think about
creatures,
that one.
all right.
No. Robin,
I don't know.
what ways are there to achieve joy?
What ways have I achieved joy? Mostly by spending time with friends and family and all of these amazing people here at PAX. Uh-oh.
You killed him. Oh, he's...
Ooh.
And look, there are 3 trailers. Ziba, if you could have these trailers filled with anything in the world, what would they be filled with?
First, I'd like to apologize for my comments about octagons earlier. That doesn't represent who I am.
I'm oh so glad you said that.
Thank you. You gotta pick a trailer?
Oh, what do you think is inside it?
Shrek 8.
That's interesting. I would say it sounds like a wise choice. How about you, Robin? What do you think is inside of these trailers?
The dreams of people still yet to come.
I like that. Raymond, if you were to take a guess, what would you say is inside these trailers?
So this is kind of weird, but growing up, we had a couple trailers in front of our house. Our dad was a welder, so one of the trailers had a bunch of tools and stuff. The other one was filled with toilets that had been recently taken out of a prison in Rhode Island. I know you're thinking, why, right? But that's not important. The thing was, it was filled tip to stern with stainless steel prison toilets. And so I'm gonna say toilets, final answer.
Well, those are all interesting guesses. Let's take a look and see what's inside. I only have enough door energy to open just one of them, though. So,
There's toilets in
Jonathan,
there. I'm
what trailer
right
should
now.
we... Number 1, 2, or 3?
What do you think?
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought,
Or
I don't know,
whatever we want, I guess.
2.
Why, thank you, Jonathan.
Holy crap.
Flew in here when I was a little baby. Grew too fast. I grew so much I couldn't fit out of the hole that I flew into. Got all big and couldn't get out. And then you came. I made a promise to myself. Anyone who saved me from this trailer, I would give them everything inside. So I present this to you. It's a lot of prison toilets.
Well, thank you very much. That is a lovely gift, and we truly appreciate it.
End scene.
What a nice wasp, wasn't it? I'm glad we could help it get out of that trailer, too. So we have these prison toilets. Simon, what do you think we should do with them? I think that could work. How about you, Jonathan? What do you think we should do with them?
I think we should try to eat them. They look clean, and I'm hungry.
You can have mine, man.
Interesting. Very interesting. I was recently watching an episode of the television show Law and Order, and I learned about a place called the Dark Web. I have a feeling there might be a lot of interest in these prison toilets. Maybe we could sell them and use that money to buy a purple sword. I need to ask all of you here in the audience. Should we go to the Dark Web and sell some prison toilets? Let me say this again. Should we go to the Dark Web to sell some prison toilets? Now that is the appropriate response. Let's go. And as we travel, we'll have a wonderful conversation. William, from my research on the development of Soda Drinker Pro, I can see that the initial idea came from a spark of inspiration that overcame you in the middle of the night. You got out of bed and made the first version of Soda Drinker Pro in a day. Are there any other examples you can share of being struck by inspiration so hard that you needed to create something immediately, the second that you thought of it?
Yeah, I think. Okay, so I have those car seats with the wooden beads. You know those. I was in my friend's car once, and I sat on it. It was super comfortable, and I was like, oh, I want to feel this all the time. So I went directly to the craft store that afternoon, bought a bunch of beads, and wove them together. I'm really into like beadwork and things like that. And so I made a pair of underwear out of plastic beads, and and I tried it on, but the plastic beads had little sharp edges to it, and so it pinched my butt a little bit. So I was like, this doesn't work. And then I bought one of those car seats, cut the beads out of it, and I made underwear out of that, and that worked, but it looked like I was wearing wooden diapers. So it was very comfortable, but it was a good kind of spur of the moment thing.
Well, I'll tell you what. That sounds very comfortable.
Thank you.
I think this is pretty interesting. I think we've learned a lot, but need to take things in a different direction.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's continue. Jonathan, you're the creator of the hilarious comic titled Drac and Brody. Can you talk a little bit about what Drac and Brody is?
I think it's Drac and Grody, because it's have you seen the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody? It's a Nickelodeon show.
I don't think you could convince me to say yes to that.
You're right. I feel very underconfident about the comic book. It's true. There's a few copies out there. I'd love to hear what you think, though. Just put them on some seats.
Thank you, Jonathan. Jonathan, can you talk a little bit about why some of the characters in your comic whip candles with whips?
Yes, absolutely. So I grew up playing this game called Castlevania. I didn't know it would ever be a series. It was just this game that recalled all of these horror movies I grew up with, like the Bela Lugosi Dracula, the Boris Karloff Frankenstein, and I couldn't believe Konami pulled off getting all these characters together, combining it with this unique video game logic where candles hold hearts and whips, and there's turkeys and walls, never explained, and it's supposed to be scary. You're supposed to be intimidated, and suddenly you're eating wall meat. And I was always kind of in love with the absurdity of that, because life can be so absurd in that way. Like, I was terrified going to school. I was going to get bullied because I was a big nerd. But I was also aware, like, people shouldn't be making fun of me because I'm a nerd. That's totally absurd. I should be laughing at this. So laughing and being afraid at the same time is something that's been in my heart for a while.
Jonathan, I think I'm going to start whipping candles at some point. Thank you. I think this is pretty interesting. I think we've learned a lot, but need to take things in a different direction. Well, let's continue. Robin. Tell me a story about a friend who found inspiration, and it led to wonderful things.
I had a friend that was very interested in the sight of their own poo. And one day they turned around and saw a face in it, and they drew it, and it became an amazingly famous franchise. Can you guess who it was?
Was it the Kate?
I'm not going to say.
I was revealing.
Well, that's correct. Raymond, tell me a story about a friend who found inspiration, and it led to wonderful things.
I don't know. I guess my kid is my friend, and she finds all kinds of wacky inspiration in different things, and I guess she's my friend. Yeah. I would consider her a friend.
Yeah.
And,
William, did that remind you of anything?
Yeah, you know, I know his daughter, and I think she's definitely his friend. And it's very cool.
Ziba, what are some things that inspire you?
Oh, these beautiful people up here, this beautiful audience. I'm stalling and I'm pandering. You with that laugh right there, that was great. I like that. Appreciate that. How about those? Those were wonderful.
Very good.
Well, this is interesting. Hey! Why, hello. What are you doing here? You got me. This place is terrible. You gotta get me out of here. Well, we're happy to help. How can we help you? There's this guy down the hall. If you see him, he has a key. See if you can get it from him so you can free me. I think we can do that. But how do I know that you're not chained to the wall? For a good reason. You're not a bad chair, are you? I'm a chair! Please, they're gonna sell me. Well, I believe you. But let me check with my friends. Robin, what do you think?
I think that he's probably a pretty good dude.
All right. Raymond, how about you?
no. There's some spider webs around that chair. Maybe a spider's gonna eat the chair? Like a
Lamont,
spider?
can we trust this chair?
I think we should check the chair's voting history before we make any decisions. Then I'll decide whether that chair should be locked up or not.
William, do you believe in this chair?
I don't know, but